Your Excellency, President William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, governors, distinguished guests, wananchi yote hamjambo, Usaureuru, Umor, Will, Ushiek, Erukamana. Your Excellencies, feel welcomed here in Ramogiland. I am very delighted to have opportunity to speak here before my two brothers. I talked to my brother William Ruto. I told him that there's something very special that is being celebrated here. That what is called Piny. At this time they've invited people from all over Eastern Africa, from DRC, Uganda, South Sudan, Ethiopia, Tanzania. And it would be a very good idea if we could invite our neighbor to come and join us. He told me I'm going to call him. And he called him, and Yoweri agreed to come to be with us here today on the 2nd, just one day after the New Year, when he should be with his families in Uganda. This is a great honor that we don't take for granted. And it also shows a good neighborliness, a neighbor who comes to you at the time of need. So we are happy. We, Kenya and Uganda, we are brothers. We, of course, have the artificially created borders, which were drawn somewhere in Berlin, where none of our forefathers were represented. Now we become hostage to these borders, artificial borders. They have divided their people across countries. Here you see you have got the Karamojong there and the Turkana. You've got the Pokot in Kenya and Uganda. You've got the Sibei and the Sabaot. You've got the Bukusu and the Vagishu. You've got the Samia, Kenya, and Samia, Uganda. And then you've got, of course, the Luos here, the Luos in Uganda, and so on and so forth. So we have been hostage to these borders, which were created artificially, which have divided our people. And our view is that these borders, we don't need to become impediments to cooperation and working together. This gathering here is not political. It's just cultural, to bring people together, people who share common culture. Because Waswahili wanasema, ati mwacha mila ni mtumwa. So this is how you develop culture. Culture cannot be static. Culture is dynamic and moves as society grows. And we were able here, you have seen when we were here. And we had people from Ethiopia. The representative of the king of the Ruto in Ethiopia came here with this team and showed us how they do, what they do, which some of which are different, and what we share in common together. We have the Padola also speaking here. The Acholi were here. The Alur, and so on, even the Luos of Tanzania. So this is a good reunion. And this is not a reunion of politics. You don't talk politics here. Where you live is your country. When you're in Kenya, you're a Kenyan. When you're in Uganda, you're a Ugandan, and so on and so forth. But this also actually emphasizes the need for African unity. Because we have become hostage to the borders which were imposed by the colonialists for a long time. And we really think that it is time now to actualize the dreams of the founding fathers of the African Union. If you look at what was being said at Addis Ababa at that time, everybody was talking about African Union now, most of the people. But then there was those who were saying, no, let us be gradual. There were the gradualists and the ones who wanted it to be immediate. And that's where, for example, Mwalimu Nyerere differed with Kwame Nkrumah. But now, 61 years later, Mwalimu himself came and said that he thinks Nkrumah was right, they were wrong. But we need now to begin to look at how can we unite Africa. One of it is the issue of migration. People moving from one country to another country. Make it easier for people to move. Second one is trade. Inter-African trade is only at 15%. Inter-European trade stands at 70%. Inter-Asian trade stands at 60%. Africa trades more with the external world than with itself. This is something that we need to correct. And then, as Jim was saying, let us open our borders so that people can move freely from one side to the other side. This, in my view, will help a lot. We are at the shrine of Ramogi. This is where the first Luos who came here settled, led by Ramogi. This is nearly 800 years ago. And we were led by Ramogi. They settled on top of the hill. There were Bantus who were living around here. They did not fight because there was a lot of land. They were able to graze their cattle and their neighbors. And they started intermarrying. It took those who are called the Jokajok. In Australia, they are called the Pajok. The second group that came 250 years later, the second group, the Goin, came from the Padola. It came also to the same migration corridor and joined here. Or he joined. They also came to Ramogi. The third group, 100 years later, came from the Alur. They are called the Akumoyo. Then they are called the Paimon. The final group that came, the Wanga group, which also came here. So now the Luo of Kenya are basically a hybrid society from different sections of the Luo here, and they've also intermarried with the Bantus they found here. When they came here, they were tall. If you look at colonial literature, the Nilotic, tall, slender, and dark-skinned. And then they said Bantu, short, brown, stout, thick lips, and round nose. Then now they intermarried. The intermarriage brought the Luos a little bit down and raised the Bantus also here up. And the Luos also became light-skinned now, not very, very dark like they were when they came here. So it's a hybrid community. And this is very good. Now here, the people here are fishermen. But when they were coming, they were pastoralists. They lost their cattle when they came here through epidemics, fly also, rinderpest. Then they now took to fishing and farming around the lake here. So, Your Excellency, I don't want to make a long speech here. I want to really say that today is a great day for our people here, that you have been able to come and sit with us here today. With us, words and meals here today. So we thank you very much. And now, without much ado, it is now my humble pleasure to invite my brother, William Samoei Ruto, to come and welcome our visitor.
Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, Excellencies, Governors, CSS, Members of Parliament, the great people of Siaya, and the Luo community of East, Central, and North Africa. Amoso Jadurwa. Jadurwa unti. Jadurwa umor. Jadurwa oil. Let me first and foremost take this opportunity to welcome our guest and friend, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has, in a very special way, honored us with this visit this early in the year, so that together we can tell the people of Siaya and Kenya, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Mzee, you are welcome. You are the Mzee of our region. You have demonstrated great resilience. When I requested you, as the Right Honorable Prime Minister has said, you graciously informed me that any event that brings East Africans together is an event that you will attend without hesitation. And you have done exactly that. And I am amazed that you woke up at 5 p.m., 5 a.m. to undertake this journey of almost 200 kilometers to come here by road. That demonstrates friendship beyond what is ordinary. So, Mzee, we want to say thank you very much for coming to join us as Kenyans and to join the people of Siaya, as I thank the county government of Siaya for putting this event together. This event is a celebration of what evolution can achieve. This event is not just a celebration of culture and tradition, and to showcase the migration route of the Luo community from Ethiopia through South Sudan, through Uganda, to Kenya, to Tanzania, to DRC. It is also a great celebration of the success and the importance of devolution in our country. We want to commend the counties for taking up the role of culture. As was said by the CS, shortly we were in Turkana, where we were celebrating the culture of communities that traverse East Africa. We were in Samburu to celebrate the Maasai culture and many others. And today we are here to celebrate the Luo culture, their tradition, the food, everything they have done. And we are very proud that even as we celebrate a community culture, we are celebrating this culture in the context that this community is also a multinational community. They are not only Kenyans, they are also Ugandans, they are Sudanese, they are Ethiopians, they are Congolese. And yet, we are still one community. And it is the context that we can belong to one community and also belong to different nationalities. And we can belong to different communities, but also belong to one nationality. And therefore, as Kenyans, as we celebrate what we have today here in Siaya, we remind ourselves that it is possible for us to belong to one community, but be different nationalities and celebrate those different nationalities. We can also be different communities as we are in Kenya, but also celebrate our nationality as one indivisible nation. And that is why we are very proud to join the people of Siaya, the Luo community in Kenya, East Africa, and the rest of Africa to celebrate this great migration that has brought people from different parts of the world together. I'm informed that yesterday there was great celebration in Wichloom, right here at the lake, of wrestling, of fishing, of swimming, of ajua, and many others. And just to remind you that as part of carrying this culture to the next level, right there in Wichloom, we will be building a fish landing site at a cost of 100 million shillings to support the fishing community as part of taking this tradition and culture of fishing to the next level. And also, as we celebrate this culture, we know that, as Right Honorable Raila Odinga has said, that culture is evolving, and that evolution comes with education, comes with a build-up of knowledge and greater understanding and accumulation of scientific and other research knowledge, and the need to expand opportunities, institutions that will support the development of culture, the accumulation of knowledge, the use of research. And I was scheduled to come and open this great facility that is here behind us, the Ramogi campus of Nyangoma Technical Training College. In honor of this event, and in the presence of our friend President Museveni, we will then announce that this Ramogi campus is officially opened today. And will immediately admit students beginning this January. And we have built that institution at almost a cost of 400 million. And my instructions are that a plaque be put there to show that this institution was opened in the presence of Museveni, so that we also use it as a landmark of the celebration of this coming together of East Africans. Secondly, as we celebrate this culture, it builds our bonds of friendship and unity as East Africans. As we are today, as the governor of Siaya said, we must use the artificial boundaries that exist not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones, not as hurdles, but as bridges for our people, their goods, services, to cross borders between our countries, because there cannot be a successful Kenya without a thriving East Africa. There cannot be a thriving Uganda without a successful East Africa. And that is why it is important for us to build on the successes that we have achieved in putting together the building blocks for trade, investment, business between the countries of East Africa. Finally, this celebration also confirms to us that our quest as a region, as East Africa, to put forward the candidature of Right Honorable Raila Odinga is the correct thing to do, because the Right Honorable Raila Odinga is not a candidate for Kenya. He is a candidate for East Africa. And before we rolled out his candidature, we went to Museveni as the elder of our region. We spoke to all the East African heads of states, and we confirmed that we had the right candidate with the right credentials to be able to champion the unity, the progress, and the success of Africa as a continent. And so far, we have seen tremendous progress and enormous support for the candidature of Raila Odinga for the Africa Union Commission chair. We are confident that his credentials that traverse many areas, his proven track record as a Pan-African, as a foresighted, uniting factor, is going to be of immense value to our region in matters of ensuring that our region is peaceful, managing the different conflicts in our continent, building on the success of East Africa to build trade, investment, business into the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and create one big market of 1.4 billion people under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We are very confident that a successful bid of the Honorable Raila Odinga is going to see the fortunes of our continent change for the better going into the future. Ladies and gentlemen, as has been said, we have not come here to discuss matters different from culture, from tradition, and what brings us together as the people of this region. But allow me to say that as we build on culture, as we build on our roots, and as we make sure that we become a successful nation. A successful nation begins with a successful family, successful communities, successful nations, and a progressive region. We have gazetted 2 cultural heritage sites here in Siaya. Where we've come from this morning, Gotramogi Forest, right here now, is a national certified cultural heritage. We have Jaramogi Odinga Mausoleum, which was gazetted earlier. As a government, we are also assessing another 7 sites that have historical, cultural, and traditional significance here in Siaya, with a possibility, when they meet their threshold, for us to gazette these other sites. We are currently assessing cell blocks in Oyama Highland, Oyamo Highland, for purposes of gazettement as cultural sites. We are also assessing Paramount Chief Odera Akano Office, also as a cultural site. Nomia Church is a very important site that has historical value, and we are also in consultations. And Owin Sigoma Heritage Complex is also under consideration, the same way Magenta Island Mau Mau Detention Camp, where we went the other day, is also under consideration for gazettement. And Migwena Cultural Grounds, which I know many of you know where it is, for purposes of, and then of course, we have Siringombe that is still in the balance, but we're trying to see. Sir? Yes. So again, the Ministry of Culture and Heritage is working with the counties to make sure that ultimately we have these sites that will act as beacons of our culture and our tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, because we still have another occasion ahead of us, let me say I'm truly grateful and happy that we have come to celebrate and to conclude Piny Luo, an event that has brought people from different countries into Kenya to celebrate unity in diversity. Asanteni sana. It's now my pleasure to ask our elder, Mzee Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda, to come and make his statement. Mzee, karibu.
Asante sana. Sit down, please. His Excellency, President Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, who invited us, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, all the other dignitaries, and the attendees of the conference. So we speak here. We speak where? Here or there? Lokkan. We speak here. There is another function there. Are we going to speak there? Where do we say serious things? Here or there? The other one is a football match or something. In a football match, you may not say too many things. So, first of all, I thank the Luos for making me an elder. In the community. I think this is an honor for the people of Uganda. This is the third time I'm being recognized by our Luo people. First of all, it was the Alur. They gave me the name Jalkunga. The Alurs. Then the Achoris gave me the name Lukuya Moi. So I'm waiting for your name here. Secondly, I'm really very happy with this get-together by you people. Recently we were in Soroti, in Uganda, with the Ateked people. Ateked, the Karamajong, Teso, all those people. The same like here, from all over the place. What you are doing now, you are showing the unfairness of these borders. That's what you are showing, and I'm very happy that you are showing this. These borders, what right do they have to divide people like this? Are they maintained by Christians or by people who are not Christians? Because remember, the Bible says, what God has put together, man should not put asunder. Now, by 1900, that's why I was asking where I should speak here or there. But I can speak here because it's smaller, and you are the elite. And the elite are the ones causing problems. By 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized. And this one had followed 600 years of slave trade. This was a big humiliation for Africa. The chiefs tried to fight, but they could not manage. But in 1912, a new group of people, educated people, started the African National Congress of South Africa. That was the beginning of the modern resistance by the African people. Now, when they started the resistance, they had 4 historical missions. Mission number 1, chase the foreigners, get independence, get uhuru. But mission number 2, create prosperity for the African people. Prosperity. Watu kuwa na hali nzuri ya maisha. That was the second historic mission. The third one, strategic security. How can Africa be secure from all threats? Because, you know, we had really survived to renusurika because other people who were colonized are no longer there. If you go to America, you will not find American people there. You will find Europeans who took over the land of the Indians. American Indians are not there. I hear there are some, I have never seen them. That the remnants of them are in reserves. If you go to Australia, the land is no longer owned by the people who are of that area. It is owned by other people. Even here, you people, in the 1950s, in the school, I was reading of the White Highlands in Kenya. Hii Kenya ilikuwa karibu kwenda. So, having survived the struggle at second mission, 1900, was to, number one, chase the foreigners, but second, to create hardy that gives a good life to the African people. But number three, ensure that never again will Africa be under threat. Strategic security. Never be under threat from anybody, whatever. So which means that to build new strength. I will speak about the Ramogi later on if I remember. Our Ramogi there in Uganda, they had some small rebellion against the British. Of course, the British defeated them. But they killed one white man, 2 or 3 white men. Up to now, they're singing about it. We killed the white man, we killed the white man. Are the attorneys here? Attorneys Tiakan. Kwene, where are you? Some attorneys. They are outside there. But that sort of strength of spears and so on is not what we need now. We need strength which can defend us from all threats, including people who are operating from the moon. Some people go to the moon, and for us, we are here. They are looking at us from there as if we are small insects. And they can spray things on us we don't even know. And we are just here, defense forces. What are you defending? You don't even know what is in the sky. So, number 3, strategic security. But mission number 4 was using the undugu, which exists, to do the other 3. Number 1, independence. Number 2, prosperity. Number 3, strategic security. How do you achieve this? Use the undugu, which is already existing. If there are Jaruos in Congo, in Uganda, in South Sudan, in Ethiopia, in Kenya, in Tanzania, why don't you use that? Why don't you use it to bring these countries together? If there are Bantus in all these places, why don't you use them to bring people together? They are taken, this is Karamojong and all that. They have been killing one another all the time. I'm the one who came to save them. So please stop killing one another. The Karamojong, the Turkanas, the what, killing, confusion. What are you fighting for? They are fighting for cows. They don't know how to look after cows. They are killing them, they say they are looking after them. So, now that we are beginning to use this approach of getting the people together, I am very happy. Where I heard what the professor was saying, that you played football, you wrestled and so on. But I wish you had added one political item. Not 2, not 3. The one of political federation. If you had added, is that highly political or what? What is it? For me, I think if you talk of culture, you cannot avoid that one. The political federation of East Africa. What will the federation solve? The federation will deal with the issue of prosperity. How? How do you get prosperity? I always ask those people, where does prosperity come from? Can you get prosperity from begging Americans for money? Can you get prosperity from what? How are you going to get prosperity? Prosperity, ustawi wa jamii comes from producing a good or a service. Each family or each company producing a product. Bidhaa au huduma. Producing a good or a service and selling it. Now, once you talk of selling, then you are talking of soko. So if you talk of soko, of market, the question is the tribal market of the Jaru enough? No. That's where Kenya is superior to Jaruos only. That's why in Uganda, in our movement, we say patriotism. Principle number one of our movement is patriotism. Love Uganda, Uganda fatherland. Why? Because Uganda is better than the Banyankore. Banyankore is my tribe. In Uganda, I sell more milk, more beef, more bananas than I sell to the Banyankore. So if somebody comes and tells me, we Banyankore, Shetani. Shetani kwenda. Kwa sababu siani yangu ni Uganda. Siani yangu ambayo inanisaidia kuishi vizuri ni Uganda. They are the ones who are buying my milk. They are the ones who are buying my beef. They are the ones buying my bananas. If you come to Victoria, I've got a very nice house there. But that house is from Uganda more than from my tribe. So that's why we say, for prosperity, number one, love Uganda, love Kenya, love Tanzania. But secondly, Uganda is not enough. Soko ya Uganda haitoshi. That's how we talk of our second principle is Pan-Africanism. Love Africa. Why? Because you need it. You need it for your prosperity. And principle number 3 of our movement is socio-economic transformation. Change. Changing the culture, becoming the modern people. I don't have time to explain all that. And then, strategic security. The Americans are talking of 4-dimensional superiority. That they want to be superior on land, superior in the air, superior at sea, and superior in space. To have capacity to suppress anybody using those 4 dimensions. For us, we are just sitting here. We don't even know what's happening even in the ocean, we don't know. Tunaishia pale Mombasa. What's happening is deep in the ocean, hatuna macho ya kuangalia huko. We don't know what is happening on the moon. The Americans have been to the moon. The Russians have been there. The Chinese have been there. The Indians have gone now. For us, we are here. So, such fight, this is really very worrying. So that's why when His Excellency Ruto invited me to come, I can't miss Christmas, just eating meat. I said, I'm coming. If East Africans have got together, I'm coming to warn them that if you don't wake up, don't say that the elders didn't tell you. So, the 4 historical missions, we achieved 1. We achieved independence. After independence, there was a problem of arrivism. Uhuru, watu walikuwa wamefika kwenye vyeo. We call that arrivism. Power, magari, nini, kwenda Ulaya. Nani? Integration was forgotten. So, prosperity is still not sure. Strategic security, not sure. Kutumia undugu not attended to. That's why I'm very happy with this effort. The people who acquitted themselves well, it was Mwalimu Nyerere and Karume, who united Tanganyika and Zanzibar. Hao hawana madeni huko bingoni. Nkrumah, Modibo Keita, and Secretary tried. They tried, they failed, but they tried. At least I salute to them. There were many others who were supportive. I know them. Here, Mzee Moi was very supportive of the integration of East Africa. Mzee Moi. I used to discuss with him. He was very supportive. Mzee Kibaki, very supportive. Uhuru Kenyatta, very successful, very supportive. Excellency Ruto here, very supportive. Raila, very supportive. I know the supportive people. I know them. I have them in my head. Joe Murundi, Tom Boyer. There was a man called John Keane. That man, John Keane, very, very active. Alafu kulikuwa wengine kama mzee Njonjo. Alikuwa barabara nyingine. So, you people, I just came here to say that if you really want our children to survive in the modern world, the 4 points. The 4 points. Prosperity, strategic security, using Undugu. And in order to achieve this, we achieve it through integration. So I'm very glad that you came. Maintain it, but also have a research unit in your group. Have a research unit in your group. The trade. Raila was talking about the figures of the trade. You should be aware of this. You tell your people. So because I've come here, and I have got a gift. I got a gift of the skin dress, and my drums I have gone, and the spear I have gone with them. But I'm also going to give you my own gifts. Picture zangu. I don't know the constituencies. My pictures, open them up, not just quickly. I have already given the Excellency these pictures, and I think Raila also gave him one, but I want to give this one to the head of the Ruo. Who is the head? That's enough. Now, this picture was on the 3rd of June, 1963. This is when Mzee Kenyatta, Mwalimu Nyerere, and Obote, and others met in Nairobi and declared that they would form the Federation of East Africa that year, 1963.
But after it, while some of them started developing cold feet. That's why in 1964, Mwalimu Nyerere and Karume went ahead and formed Tanzania from Tanganyika and from Zanzibar. So, although you said you are not political, you are coming to wrestle and so on, for me, I think you cannot wrestle where there is no peace and where there is no prosperity. So I have brought, because you said there are different chapters of the rules, I have already given the presidents this. I have already given to them. So I don't want to disturb them with more pictures. So I give you more copies, 5 of them, because you say you have got many constituencies in South Sudan. They give them to the chief, or Orengo can keep them for them. Give them to him. Asante. Now, finally, we are supporting the candidature of Raila for the chairmanship of the African Union. But the real powerful, he will help us to do some mobilization and some, we call it what? Brainstorming, but the real power is with us here. We who are in charge of these states, we are the ones who can say we move, and we move. For him, he can talk. He's like a preacher. He's like John the Baptist. You repent, the kingdom of heaven is about to come. He can preach, he can mobilize, but the people with power are the ones in charge of this government. I don't want to be diverted to forget that. He can do a lot of work, brainstorming there, thinking of solutions, liaising with the external groups. Some programs can move ahead, some programs, shared programs, but the real decisive area of who can decide are you people, we, the senators, all these powerful people, senators, presidents, ministers, these are the people with the power. With these few words, I thank you so much.
Your Excellencies, thank you very much. With that, we've come to the end of this particular program, and we shall then allow our Excellencies to, first of all, proceed. We have one photo that we're going to be taking, so if we can kindly take our seats.